As you know, we are learning Angular state management from scratch in this series. Instead of jumping directly into advanced solutions, we are exploring each approach one by one, understanding what problem it solves, how it works, and when we actually need it. In the last video, we started with Angular services and moved our card state from the product component into a shared card service that gave multiple component access to the same card. But we ended that video with an important question. What happens when that shared state change? How do the other components know that something had changed and automatically react to it? That's exactly what we are going to solve in this video. We will take the same card service and use the RxJS to make our shared state reactive. And as always, we will understand it by building it with actual Angular code. Let's start with the code we already have. Our cart service currently looks something like this, and our product component like this. The cart is shared between header and product component, but it's not reactive. The product component adds a product, and the value inside the service changes, but we haven't created any mechanism that says the cart changed, everyone using the state should know about it. This is where RxJS becomes powerful. RxJS gives us a way to work with values that change over time. And for our cart, that's exactly what we have. The cart starts with 0 items, then one item is added, then another, and the state is changing over the time. So instead of treating our cart as just an array, we can represent it as a reactive stream of values. Here we will use an RxJS behavior subject. Let's change our service. First, we import behavior subject from RxJS. Then instead of this, we create a behavior subject. So what exactly is behavior subject? You can think of it as a RxJS object that holds a current value and can notify subscribers whenever that value changes. In our case, the current value is our cart. Initially, the cart is an empty array. Now we need a way for components to listen to this state. So we'll expose the subject as an observable. The dollar sign at the end of the cart is simply a naming convention. It tells us this property represents an observable. Now our service look like this. Notice something important. The cart subject is private. Components cannot directly access or modify it. They only get access to cart. This is observable. This gives our service control over how the state changes. Now let's update our add to cart method. Previously, we had the cart items and we are calling the add to cart method from this component, but we don't have cart items anymore. Our cart is now stored inside the behavior subject. So we first need to get the current cart. We can do that using the cart subject dot value. Then we can create a new array with the product added and send that new value through the subject using the next method. So our method becomes constant current cart equal to this dot cart subject value and the next current value and product. Let's understand what's happening here. Value gives us the current cart. Then we create a new array containing the existing items plus the new product. And finally, the cart subject dot next method publishes the new cart value. That next call is important. It means the state had changed. Send this new value to everyone listening. Now let's see what happens inside the header component. Previously, the header was reading the cart item's length, but now the cart is an observable. So instead of directly reading the state, the component can subscribe to the cart stream. For example, here we can get the cart service dot cart and subscribe to the cart, and then we can read the cart items. Now the component is listening to the cart. Whenever the service publishes a new cart, this subscription receives the new value. So when the product component adds a product, the service calls this cart subject dot next method, and the header component receives the new cart through its subscription. The flow now looks like this. Product component calls the add to cart, then cart service updates the behavior subject. The behavior subject emits the new cart, and the header component receives the new value. That's the reactive part. But there is actually an easier way to subscribe in an Angular template instead of manually subscribing inside the component. we can expose the observable directly to the template. For example, we can get that cart service.cart, and in the template, Angular provides the async pipe. So we can write cart and the pipe here dot length. Now Angular subscribe to the observable for us and updates the template when a new value is emitted. This means we don't have manually subscribe and manage the subscription ourselves in the simple case. Now let's look at the complete service. This is how it looks. Now our service has two important responsibilities. It owns the shared cart state and it publishes change to the state. And our components don't need to know what happened. They simply consumes cart. So our architecture now look like this: the cart service, behavior subject, the cart, and the components who has subscribed to this cart. It could be header component, cart component, or the checkout component, or many other components we could add here. Whenever the cart changes, the new value flows through the observable, and components that are listening to the cart can react to it. And this is a big difference from what we had in a previous video with the plain service and with the RxJS. The service is still providing the shared state, but RxJS gives us a reactive way to communicate those changes. Now, there is something important to understand. RxJS itself is not a state management architecture like NGRX. RxJS gives us a tool such as observables and subjects, which we can use to build reactive state. In our example, we are using a behavior subject to hold the current card and an observable to expose that state to components. So we are still using an Angular service. We are simply adding RxJS to make the shared state reactive. And this approach can work very well for simple or moderately complex shared state. But as our application grows, we might have many pieces of state, many ways to update that state, and many components depending on it. At that point, we start asking another question: do we really want to manage all of this state manually with the services and RxJS? And that's where another approach becomes useful. Angular also gives us a reactive primitive specifically designed for managing state in Angular application, that is signals. In the next video, we will take our shared cart and rebuild this example using Angular signals. We will see how signals simplify reactive state and how they differ from RxJS approach we built here. If you understood everything so far and found it useful, like the video and hit the subscribe button. It helps me to create more videos like this for you, and it also lets you know when the next part is available. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.